Hello, everyone, and welcome to this first Tech Nook podcast. I think it's what I'm going to be calling it. So, it's kind of similar to the videos that I've been doing where like tech roundups and talking about rumors and stuff, but I kind of want to give myself a little less push to have something on the screen in terms of like visuals. So, while there will be visuals for this podcast, I don't want it to be necessary, and that way I could just kind of talk without forcing myself to have something on the screen. If that makes sense. Hopefully it makes sense. But this is kind of just a intro. I guess that's the introduction to this podcast. I guess also it will be a way for me to talk about things like just general opinions and thoughts on tech today. And by that I mean more consumer tech. I don't want to talk about AI. I think that bubble has already probably burst. I don't really want to talk about lawsuits like the Meta and someone else. I think it was maybe Google being sued today, action lawsuit for purposely being addicting and stuff like that. I don't really want to dive into that side of tech, the politics side. I want to keep it kind of very apolitical here. I want to keep it very simple, very easy to listen to. Assuming that I'm actually talking about stuff that makes sense, and not just rambling, like I usually do. But at least here in the podcast, I won't feel so bad about rambling, and it won't be hard for me to edit because I'm not gonna edit these things. So good luck to anyone who stops by here. But it'd also be a way for me to kind of take my phone to the park with my dogs and just hit record and start talking about something. Like I have ideas or things I want to talk about, like uh with the rise of these dumb phones. Oh shoot, my mom's calling. I guess I do have to edit this one. Okay, phone call done. Also, I'm using the Pixel 10a. By the time this video comes out, I should have a little quick thoughts video out on the 10a. So if you're stopping by here and you have a question about the 10a, feel free to drop your questions below, and I'll answer them in a separate video I'm doing on a more in-depth look at the 10a. But I think I was saying so. Oh yeah, like an idea of which has been kind of coming to me more and more with the upcoming releases of these dumb phones, or more. I guess they're not necessarily dumb. Like the Clicks Communicator, the Unihertz Titan 2 Elite, or even the side phone. They are trying to fill a gap of going back to the days where everything was simpler. Having the keyboard, the physical keyboard on your phone. Those are really good days. I like having that tactile feel when I'm typing a message. However, I think because those phones are going to be new, and because they're probably going to be priced between like $399 to $599 in today's age, I think it's probably better for people to buy a very cheap old phone. Like if you're really trying to cut back on social media, I would say, and I'll dive more into this specific episode that I'm going to be recording soon. Sorry about that. I I can't recommend the iPhone 12 mini enough. That thing has pretty much zero battery. It'll die on you before you leave the house. Not that extreme, but if you're really trying to cut back on social media and stuff like that, you just pretty much want a phone that could handle music and podcast and text and calls. Something very old and very terrible at holding a battery. That's gonna be your way to go, because you literally can't do anything. When I picked up a 12A or 12 mini about like a year and a half ago, I would literally go to the park and take my dogs for a walk in the morning, and I would take videos. I would use this app called Flow, Phlow, on the iPhone. That's exclusive to the iPhones, unfortunately. I really enjoy it. take some videos, take some pictures with that app, leave the house at 100%. I would come home, I'm like at 30%. And then the rest of the day, I was like, okay, I'm not going to use my phone the rest of the day because it's literally going to die with each time I open up my phone. So it was a great month of social media detox because I was like really obsessed with Reddit at the time. And I barely use Reddit now. I use Reddit maybe to check some leaks and rumors in terms of tech these days. And that's pretty much it. So my obsession with Reddit was cured because the iPhone 12 mini had a terrible, terrible battery. So that's going to be a whole nother episode. I'm going to try to jot down some talking points in terms of that, but you kind of get the idea of what this podcast is going to be. Not necessarily you have to sit and watch this podcast, but it's more so a audio thing. I don't know. I lost my train of thought. I was trying to sound smart. Okay, so this is an article on thinborn.com titled Galaxy Z Fold 8 versus Fold 8 Wide. And when I do talk about things in an article, that's how I'll kind of introduce them, just in case anyone out there wants to check on these articles on their own time. Of course, that is on the screen right now, and you can follow along in terms of what's going on in terms of the article, scrolling through it and stuff. Sorry, I think I should be good with my seasonal flu, but I feel like I'm losing my voice again, which is weird. Let's see. There are some. So weirdly, the Z Fold 8 leaks, or I don't know, our first look leak, whether it's true or not, came out a day before the Z Fold 8 first look leaks came out. It looks as if the Fold 8 is going to be very minimally changed from the 7, the Fold 7. So for anyone out there who is thinking about maybe upgrading from a 5 or a 6, probably the 8 is the way to go. If you're coming from a 7, it's probably not worth it, especially if it's like 1700, 1800 again, which it probably is. Also, it'll be surprising to see what the Fold 8 wide will cost. If it's cheaper, if it's more expensive, that's something to think about. I'd imagine it's going to be cheaper because it is smaller and a little bit wider, but it is smaller. And it has, it's rumored to have 2 camera lenses on the back instead of the 3 on the Fold 7 and possibly the Fold 8. Let me see if I could find an actual, so the Fold 8 6.5 inch cover display, 8 inch inner, 9mm thickness. Let's see, the 8 wide might be slightly thicker at 9.8 with an inner screen of 7.6. It doesn't say possible. Oh, here it is. Outer 5.4, inner 7.6. And what was the possible? 6.5 and 8 for the regular 7. So the wide is going to be slightly smaller on the inner screen by 0.4 inches and about 1.1 inches smaller on the outer screen, and 0.8 millimeters thicker. It doesn't. So the primary rumor of this, I don't know. I think it's a little bit funny that it's rumored to come out before the iPhone Fold, and so here's a little. Oh, here's the. Oh my god, I was trying to do math in my head, and here they have a nice little difference chart here. There's no zoom on here. Ah, shoot. I used the wrong app. I was using this filter app to film a different video, and I forgot to change to go to the basic camera app. I don't want to change it right now because it's going to be harder for me to edit later. Let's see. Triple camera on the regular fold, dual camera, possibly no telephoto on the wide fold. 0.8 millimeters thicker. This article suggests that it might have a slightly smaller battery by about 200 milliamp hours. I don't know what the plural is for that. Let's see. So what I was saying, it's gonna be a repeat of the slim battle of last year, where the S25 Edge came out before the iPhone Air, and of course, no one cared about the S25 Edge. They just made videos bashing it, and I used that thing. I actually bought that thing, and then I gave it to my mom once I switched over to Pixel permanently. Well, permanently for the foreseeable future. That thing is pretty fine. I love the pictures that camera takes. I love the video that camera takes. The screen, the form, the lightness, the slimness. I think it's an all around perfect, nearly perfect phone. Of course, you get the battery, and I don't think it'll hold up for even the average person. I would say the average person who lives close to their work would love that thing. But if you have like a hour drive to and from work, totaling like 2 to 3 hours per day, I don't think that thing is for you. That thing is gonna die by the time you get in your car to go back home. And that was literally the only downside, for me using the S25 Edge. I don't know. And then when the iPhone Air came out, it was like this whole freaking event that blew a lot of people's minds. It's very, I don't know what it is about Apple and why people kind of put them on a pedestal, even though they're late to the party on nearly everything. So I kind of feel bad in terms of Samsung. Well, obviously Samsung could do a lot better in terms of the things they give the consumers. Not and definitely not giving us very small changes per or each year for new phones and such. They have a bad habit of kind of copying Apple on that part. I don't know why they did that. They could have been the leading innovators in terms of consumer tech. But they dropped the ball on that, unfortunately, and then been rolling ever since with that ball. If that makes sense, I don't know. But anyway, I have a feeling this is going to be the same exact thing this year. The Z Fold Wide is going to come out, in August? June? August? Something like that? I'm not entirely sure. I always mix up Pixel and Samsung launches in the early summer, late summer, or midsummer, I guess. But it's obviously going to be before Apple's September event, where the iPhone Fold is expected to be either announced or launched. I don't know if there are speculations. These are very thin, but I heard some people say that the Pros are going to be announced in September, and of course they have the split where the cheaper phones are going to be announced in the spring. I think it's January. Was it January? February? I think it was February. The E series, the possibly Air Part 2, the base 18, and the iPhone Fold is going to be launched in like a surprise October or November event or something like that, and teased at the September event. I don't know. Either way, the Z Fold Wide will be released before, if this is an actual product, they're going to release it before the iPhone Fold. And just to kind of a long-winded way of going back to my first thought of It's going to be the exact same thing. A lot of Samsung fans are going to love it. I'm going to talk a lot about it. Android people from Motorola, maybe from OnePlus, Pixel, they're probably gonna check it out. Probably be a little bit fascinated by it. I know I'll be fascinated by it. I always wanted something like the what was it? The Oppo N1. It was like I think this, maybe not that small, but it was something like this. Maybe a little bit smaller. Let me see. Maybe something like this, but a little bit bigger. Something in between these two sizes. And it was wide, but very small and very portable. And I was so fascinated by that thing. But obviously, Oppo is not allowed here in the United States because all those Chinese brands would destroy the Samsung, Google, and iPhone and Apple. Everyone would just buy Chinese phones because they're so far ahead in terms of what they offer. So, and I was so fascinated by the first Pixel Fold, and I was so disappointed that the Pixel 9 Pro Fold did such a drastic form change. I don't know why it got taller. I don't know why it got slimmer. That passport style form factor is not in the American market. And it's something we desperately need. I don't know why. I don't know who, like, what executives think every folding phone should be the exact same proportions and no one should have a wide fold out there. I'm glad the rumors suggest iPhone is going to have a passport style fold as their first fold. Maybe that will force Google to go back to their roots of the first Pixel Fold. I definitely wanted that thing. And you could get it for like $200, which is great, but I don't think it's worth it today, even for $200. Even if all these rumors are true, I hope the Z Fold Wide is the beginning of a new trend, or the iPhone Fold is the beginning of a new trend of more innovative things coming to the American market. I'm still waiting on someone giving us a very small mini-sized phone, but for now I'll take a wide folding phone just to try it out. Especially Samsung. I don't know about iPhone. I feel like they're just gonna try to make it into an iPad. I don't know. I don't care for iPads. They're okay, but whatever. They're still iOS or iPad OS. I was always a little bit more fascinated with Samsung's One UI. Pixel is where it's at though. It's very minimalistic. It's very clean, but it still has the customization options. But when I do feel the need to be extra fancy and customizable, I do tend to yearn back for the days of using Samsung and having a theme and having being able to program holding down my power button to open the flashlight where the Pixel can't, kind of stuff like that. So I guess, oh wait, and now that it says here first trifold, I believe I saw an article the other day that said they discontinued the trifold. Let me see. Samsung ends Galaxy Z trifold sales 3 months after. I want like an actual article though. Here's The Verge. Let's see. The Verge, my brief weird time with the Samsung trifold. Allison Johnson. Oh, I like her stuff. I'm starting to see why Samsung didn't send me a trifold to review. That was her quote right there up at the top of the article here. Well, let me just see Yeah, the Samsung. Let me look here. Samsung. This is on the Verge as well. Samsung discontinues its Galaxy Z trifold after just 3 months. No additional restocks are coming. When it's gone, it's gone. So does she say? Oh, I have to subscribe. I'll subscribe later. Sorry, I can't do it right now. I don't want to show my payment. Let's see. Samsung trifold discontinued. Let me do that instead. I just want to see the reason why. I guess this is probably logical. High manufacturing costs and low consumer demand for the ultra premium price. Actually, how much is it? Sorry for all the coughing noises and stuff. Oh, $2,900. That's probably $3,000 after taxes here in California. That's nuts. Wait, how much is the Z Fold 7 just as is? $2,000. So you get an extra screen for about $1,000 for the trifold. Does it give you anything? $256. And I know when you buy this at launch, they do sometimes give you free storage upgrade and stuff. I'm not entirely sure if that applies to the Z Folds though. I never actually looked at these things, but it is pretty nuts. $3,000 phone. I think probably business people, people that do a lot of stuff on their laptops and they don't want to carry their laptops around a lot. So I think that trifold is probably perfect for those very specific people. But in terms of just like regular consumers out there, I don't think the trifold was for anyone specific. Like if you took a survey of just like random people, but like, would you ever use this trifold phone? Like, I don't think anyone would use it. I think everyone would probably think it's really, really cool. But in terms of using it as your primary device, I don't think so. They should have made like a trifold tablet. That would have been much better for the average person. Everyone, I don't know, not everyone, but a lot of people have tablets in their home, like portable little streaming devices. And having one that could fold up and then fold out, very portable. Not sure about the battery on that thing, but I don't know. I think it would be a great idea to market as a tablet, not necessarily. Wait, isn't there a tablet, like a trifold tablet? Am I tripping? Am I thinking of the trifold as two different products? I don't know. Whatever. Let's see. Let's go back to the rumors of the Z Fold 8. Let me see what else is out there. This is from. What is this from? Daily Jang .pk, maybe Pakistan. Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 8 Wide gets certification as new renders leaked. Let's see if there's actually. Oh, it's just a very short article. Yeah, it's the same stuff that we saw. Let me pull up some images here. So it looks like the only image circulating right now is the one of the black Z Fold 8 Wide that's going around. Let's see, Android headlines. Exclusive Z Fold 8 Wide official renders. I gotta say, it looks pretty nice. I don't know how, in terms of like measuring it out, the width of it and how it'll feel in my hands, because I do have small hands, and I think it's like a little bit different for people that have big man hands. Like if it's something wide like this, maybe even like this. Oh, this actually reminds me of the, what's it called, the Eco Mind 1 is pretty much a phone of this size, and it's square, and you could attach a I'm trying not to be too visual here because this is technically supposed to be a podcast. So I'll pause that for another day. But if you're interested in a super minimalistic phone, check out the IKKO Mind One. Yeah, it's pretty cool, but they're marketing it as a AI powered phone, and I don't think a lot of people want that right now. If they market it as like a minimalistic dumb phone with smart features, actually that might be a good marketing. Your dumb phone has smart features. I don't know. It sounds confusing though. What was I saying? I definitely check that out if you kind of want like that in between a smartphone of today and a dumb phone like Nokia or something. I think that'll probably appease a lot of those kind of people, kind of caught in between. Actually, when did this come out? March 26th, so yesterday. Yeah, all the rumors came out yesterday. Yeah, comparing it to the original Pixel Fold. I think everything else in terms of like the specs is pure speculation. But yeah, that's all we have right now. I think I'll probably end this short podcast here. If you're interested, definitely check out some more Z Fold 8 stuff. Especially if you've always kind of were interested in the Z Fold, but kind of never really wanted that super slim candy bar outer screen that they've been offering for the past 7 generations. I would say 6. I think I think 7 is when they upped their game and stopped being a super slim folding phone. It is actually like a normal phone on the outside and a large phone on the inside, versus what it usually is, where it's like a super slim like remote control on the outside and a weird aspect tablet on the inside. Actually that blue looks really nice. There's a new blue color. What is it, like a glacier, rumored for the Z Fold 8. Yeah, I think I'll end it here. If you stop by, definitely let me know what you think about a Z Fold 8. If you think it's going to be the exact same thing as last year, no one will care about the Z Fold 8 wide, and everyone will care about the iPhone Fold. I think we all know that's going to happen, but if you have some differing thoughts, definitely let me know. If you have some general thoughts about folding phones, let me know as well. I'm kind of like on the fence about them. I had the Z Fold 6 for a while, but I was always afraid of using it and dropping it, and maybe just it randomly being a malfunction and the inner screen breaking or turning black or having that line, that light line in the middle, something like that. So I traded it in for something else, and I don't think I'll ever go back to a folding phone. A flip phone, maybe, possibly. I'll give them maybe to see what they come out with in their 10th anniversary of their Z Flip. But I think in terms of phones that could flip and fold, Felix, where are you? Yeah, no, you don't need to go in there. I don't know why you need to go into my bathroom, but you don't need to. Excuse me. Can you look at me when I'm talking to you? You made me lose my train of thought, boy. What was I gonna say? Okay, so just to end this first podcast, and maybe I'll do a separate podcast on what I want from the big 3 tech companies. Well, I guess more specifically, I want a Pixel Flip. But I guess I want a I guess I want a Motorola Flip, but with Material 3 Expressive. I don't know. I don't know what a Pixel Flip would look like. Let's see, Pixel Flip. Um, this is probably like the closest thing to what a Pixel Flip might look like. I don't know about this flash camera bar here. What is this? What? Android Police. A Google Pixel Flip isn't coming, and I'm not mad about it. This is what the article is. Published February 1st of this year. I'll read this later, and I'll maybe save it for a Pixel Flip day. Maybe that'll be my next video. It's just something I always wanted. I think they'll do a good job on it in terms of like having the outer screen features and what they could implement with it in terms of the Pixel OS. I've always, again, like I said earlier, there's something about the Pixel OS, something about the Pixels in general that are very appealing to me, and they're since I started using it with the 7A, they're the phone I go back to the most when using either Samsung or iPhone. So there's something about it that really kind of grabbed me and kind of kept pulling me back. This is actually a pretty cool, oh man, a pretty cool render right here. This would look really nice. This is of course the Pixel 6 series two-tone color, but say if something like that, or honestly, okay, this will be my closing thoughts for the and I'll bleed into the next podcast. Honestly, I would be happy if Google brought back the two-tone of the Pixel 6 and earlier designs. A little bit of the Pixel 7 as well. This Pixel 7 Pro, the hazel with the gold camera bar. That was really nice too. That's a nice combination there. But I'm more thinking of like the more lively colors, like a coral with the white, a brighter yellow with a softer pastel yellow, kind of two tones like that are in the similar color scheme or and but obviously different. So okay, I'll end it there. The next video, obviously, like I just mentioned, will be kind of like what I want from Pixels in the near future, more likely than the far future. But yeah, if you stop by, thanks for stopping by. If you listen, thanks for listening, and I'll see you next time.